So yesterday was the start of Chapter 2 inside of Moco, and although we were very excited about the new beginning of Moco, it didn't come without its issues. Inside of this video today, I want to give you tips on the beginning of that new chapter. Tips that I didn't have when I started, and I actually started off making some mistakes, as well as a few things that I think need to be changed going forward for the success of Moco. Let me know if you agree with my points made throughout this video as the video goes on in the comments section below. Now, a way that you could support me is by coming over to the shop, popping in over to the right hand side, and throwing in code ECHO. It directly supports my channel whenever you make any purchases inside of any Supercell game, Moco included. And inside of Moco, when you do that, you get added to my Code Echo group, exclusive to people utilizing my code. I hope to see you guys inside of that. All right, so when you do jump back into Moco, Chapter 2 has begun. You decided to dust off your phone and play some Moco again. There's going to be a bunch of things that you can do when you dive on in. Of course, you're going to have your jobs to do. What you don't want to do, please listen, is don't do your jobs right away. Yeah, you can gain the experience, but you can't gain any of the chaos cores or shards to progress you the way that you want. So when you do start, what you actually want to start with is the brand new zone. Inside of this zone, you're going to have different missions, different tasks to complete. Play the new zone. Get rid of all the mist and all the fog. Unlock all of the chests so that you can then go in and get yourself progression to get you to level 31. Because remember guys, when you start out the new season, you are starting at level 30. Everything is at level 30 until you start leveling them up as you go. You can't level up until you get beyond that level, if that makes sense to you. So do the missions, but don't only do the missions. When you go in and you want to participate in a mission, awesome, go participate, but don't stay in there too long. Continuously return, turn in your missions, and get new missions to do. This will give you more experience and more tasks to do along the way, and then you can dive on in, progress, level up, and then you could start doing things like, well, maybe your jobs, so that you can then start upgrading your gear, your weapons, and all of that other good stuff. So that's the tip to start things out. Now, of course, we have some new rifts. I have to say, man, this new rift right here, where is the new rift right here? It's, I'm sorry, the new dojo expert training. This thing is hard, man. This thing is not easy. As you can see, your gear power is 3837, and the recommended is 4095. I do know a few people that saw some success with a bunch of different builds. I did not see the same success. It was very difficult. I would say, rather than beating your head against the wall, getting frustrated at the game the way that I did, just wait until you level up your gear a little bit, do some of the missions, progress through the game, and then play. Also, we got stuff to talk about in versus mode, as well as some things regarding worlds that I think are in a kind of a rough spot right now. Let's talk about PvP to start. First of all, Moco simplified things. They got rid of a whole bunch of different zones inside of PvP that were spreading us all thin, so we were never really going against players, and it was always just bot matches. Well, now there is a solo, a duo, a 4-player, which I'm playing right here with some people from the Code Echo chat, and a large team. Okay, that's a great change. But there is an awful change that came along with this, and I don't understand why Supercell did it, and that is no points are dropped, no reward, no progression is dropped when you kill another person. You only can gain experience or points when you take down things from the environment, enemies. So really, what PvP has become is another PvE event, and the only reason that you'll engage with another player to fight is if you're going against a really big boss and everyone wants all of the points that drop from that boss when they die, so then you're kind of forced to kill the enemies, or your opponents I should say, so that they don't get those points. But opponents drop no points themselves. Not only is it not rewarding, it in my opinion, really takes away the whole element of what PvP is all about. I want more points to be dropped from taking down enemies. Now, there's one thing that I think Supercell may be thinking here. There's one thing that I think that Supercell may be thinking. That is a lot of thinking. But my point here is, if you recall, PvP would get to the point where there would be some spawn traps. People would dominate a round, opponents would be spawning, players would never be able to leave the spawn because, well, they were being just squashed in there by the opponent that was really dominating them. Now that you don't get points from killing enemies, it prevents players from wanting to spawn trap others, and instead rather them go farm. Yeah, it solves the spawn trap issue, but it really makes PvP lackluster. Please bring back points so that when I kill another enemy inside of the game, we get some good points for doing it. But there is one good change as well, and that is when you do pull in a victory, you get more experience for the victory than we had previously, so at least that's a positive. Now, another thing that really makes me sad, and maybe one of the saddest changes to the game, is you can't make those big parties anymore. You can't make those big groups to go into the world and have those massive death mobs. That was the best feature inside of the game. That was the most hype moment inside of the game, when you're running with 30 to 40 people, crushing enemies, smashing overcharged and megas, pulling in massive experience with all of your friends, people that want to all run together. Not that it's impossible now, because you could all just go meet in the zone, but it is not as community friendly as it was in the past. Please bring that back. That was the essence of what got everyone so hype about moco. And lastly, not only am I dealing with some weird lag issues when I log into the games, it doesn't let me move for a couple of seconds sometimes, and it's not connection based. It's definitely something going on with the game and the update. Either way, that's not the primary point. The primary point is slow experience gain. In the past, it was not uncommon to get 5,000 to 8,000 experience from an overcharge, or 10 to 12,000 experience from a mega, if not more. But that has been nerfed substantially. Now, from an overcharge, you're seeing like 400 points, 400 experience, and from a mega, you're seeing like 2,000 experience. It just, the progression has slowed down so much. Out of this right here, I got 1,500 experience out of that overcharge. Now, this is in the newest zone, the biggest zone that's going to give me the most experience during my max experience time. I was getting 3 times XP right there. So essentially, you knock that down, it's like 400 to 450 experience if it's at a solo single experience point in the game. Keep in mind, again, we are in the newest zone, the most difficult, that's rewarding you with the most experience per kill. So, point being, progression was slowed down drastically inside of the game, potentially so that end game takes a little bit longer to get to. So the extended 3-month season doesn't go by so quickly and then players have nothing to do. But at the same time, it's so much less rewarding having tasted what experience tasted like in Chapter 1 to now taste it in Chapter 2 and it kind of be lackluster. We need more experience more quickly and not feel like we're walking through quicksand to gain experience to try and progress our account, try to progress the season, and basically just upgrade everything that we love to do inside of an action RPG. Now, allow me to be very clear with all of you. I love moco. I think the game is fantastic, and I think that Supercell is doing everything that they can to make this a long-standing best game. I do think, though, that there were a few misses along the way for Chapter 2. And what we are here to do as a community, all of us, is share our experiences with Supercell. Let them know, we don't love this. We'd like this to be changed because it makes the game less fun. And honestly, guys, Supercell doesn't want to have a game that's not fun. Let's let them know with constructive criticism, feedback. We could do it within the comments section of the video. I could share it with them as a partner. I can give them all this information, and we can hope that updates in the future make moco the game that is the perfect casual action RPG hype game that we want it to be. Let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on tomorrow's video.